Hello and welcome to my channel. So today I'm going to be drawing and painting these two little zebra. I've got my colour chart already up here. I'm going to go in with my, let's go over with the technical pen just to start this drawing. Now you can see up in the top right hand corner here I've got my two zebras. So I'm going to start with the closest one to us. I've actually got to do them over to the left a bit because otherwise their bottoms are going to disappear off the screen for me, which I don't really want to happen. So I'm going to start by drawing the first little zebra's head, and I'll measure everything against the head. After that point, it's going to erase that little line there. Now his head and his neck are pretty much the same length. So his head and his neck, I'll mark it there. That's the same distance from his neck to his head. So I draw that on that sort of an angle. Same, keep it like the one up on the screen. So daisy. And then his head, they don't have much of a wither. His head and his body is 1.5. So 1 times his head and a little bit more to create that. The angle goes up, and then his bottom, they're leaning down into the pond. Now his head and his body are almost the same width, so length of the head to the length of the body is about the same, or the width and depth of the body. I'll just give him a little bit more of a belly. And the length of the leg is also the same as the length of the head. So, and his legs are sort of back a little bit at the front, like he's got one straight down, like that, and one angled back a little bit. So I'm just going to draw that in like that now. All right, so that's that. Okay, I'm going to actually move that back a fraction, but I'll do that in a second. I've just realised I've got him way too far to the left. I'm going to have to move him back to the right. So I wanted to start down low, but I'm going to make him a little bit bigger, and I'm going to move him to the right a fraction. So let's come down to start with a rough sketch first. Excuse me. Down there, that leg goes back behind. Whoops. You can see that sort of goes back there. All right, I'm going to move him now to about there, I think. Okay, tap on that again. And I might even change his angle a fraction. So I'm going to just do that. Just have him not quite so steep an angle like that. There we go. Okay, that's a bit better. The first zebra. Now, the second one's bottom is about there. Now, their bodies are the same length. So I'll just mark the length of the first one's body to the length of the second one's body. Just like that. And then the neck goes straight down on the same kind of an angle. Again, I'll keep them the same length. Try and do them quite similar. Now the head length. Just measure the one against the other. Hang on, 1, 2. It's about the same. It's a fraction higher on the second one. Like that. Then his cheek comes down here, neck goes up. All right. I've got him too far forward. I can move him back. I'm just going to move him back a fraction. No, hang on. I want to move that. No, not that one. I need to move this one. Hang on. So go there. Go there. Go. Oh, is that the one? No, I'll go that one. Go freehand. Just going to move this one. I only want to move this one back a fraction to about there, or a bit more. Or maybe I've got him too long. Maybe I have got him too long, but I'll have him about there, and then I'll tap. Okay, I'm just going to erase his bottom there because I've got him way too far back. Okay. Every now and then you'll see me look up at my big screen. That's how I get my perspective. You can see I need to actually bring this one forward a fraction too. Oh, that one back. Whoops, don't do that. Go that one. And then freehand around there. Whoops, nope. Freehand around this one. Like that. And then move him. Whoops. And then move him. As you can just see that other front leg. There we go. That's a bit better. And then tap on that. So you can move these around quite easily, which is really, really handy. And that leg does disappear behind that other one. Now I'll draw this other leg in. Doesn't quite go to where that... I've got to drop this one's head down a fraction. I'm going to erase this neck. And I'm going to drop his head down a fraction. Actually, I could have just... done that same thing that I just did and just moved that way, but it's going to erase. I'm still doing it traditional style. Every now and then I sort of zone back into traditional. There we go. That's a bit better. All right. That's okay. I'm going to make his chest a bit higher and erase that bottom part of his chest. Having a quick look. All right, so they've got their waterline. Just going to shrink it down a fraction now. Got their waterline, comes just about halfway down and behind the front feet on a downward lilt. Like that. All right, I'll draw the ears in. Get that marked in. And then I'll start to draw the lines. They've got their ears, they're listening to everything, which is really cool. They're very alert creatures because they've got to listen out for predators. I'm just going to erase some of these little lines because I've got lots of scribbly drawing there. Bring his chest back a bit and his neck a bit deeper. All right. So I'll draw the eye of this one. See his eyelid, his eye shape on the other side was a bit higher than I needed to make that a bit larger. Come down and around, pop his muzzle close to the water. I'll add the detail to that after. For now, I'm just going to erase around his chin, get rid of some of those excess little squiggles. I'm starting to pick out the shapes now, getting more defined. Okay. Okay, I'll start with the lines. They're not going to be exactly the same as a reference, but that doesn't matter. I'm just going to draw them in. Make them bigger, a bit easier. Just going to start to draw all these stripes in. Zebras are so relaxing to draw and paint because they're just like doing a mandala painting because they're so, like you've got all the lines and the patterns. So it's super duper relaxing. They're like doing a mandala. Down and around here. These stripes coming down. I'm not real happy with his... Oh, it is right though. It does look like that. I always second guess myself. Just going to erase some of these scruffy lines at the bottom. I might change the angle on that slightly at the bottom there. That looks a bit better, a bit less cumbersome, a bit less bulky and cumbersome. Now he's got his mane, comes up, top of it's quite dark. I'm just going to rough that in with squiggles. down onto his neck. And then the lines connect, whoops, up there like that. I'm just going to erase that one, that was a bit of a mess. Then they come around the back of the neck and join up there. And following the direction of the neck and the way it sort of rolls around. Just going to erase that second little bit. All right. So just come down and around. I'll just continue on with all of these lines. I've got them connected at the bottom, but it doesn't. Oh, I do need to fix that. I'm just going to erase them here. I'm not quite connected there. Actually, I'm going to erase all of those. I'm not happy with that. I'm not going to rush it. I'm just going to take my time and go back and erase those. I'm not happy with where they are. Come around his ear. Right. Try again. And they're larger stripes on his neck. Come around his neck like that. Whoops. That's better. That's a bit better. Today's not that far, but anyway. And following the shape of the neck all the way around. Like that. Having a quick look at the reference. It comes right around. That one comes right around. Around that side of his chest. Like that. And then they come sort of down onto his shoulder and diagonally take off in that direction and then join up like that. Then there's little stripy bits that come down in here. He doesn't have the stripes on the front of those legs, but I can see shadows, really nice shadows on that leg. All right, draw his little fetlock. His feet go into the water, so that's all right. Come around his back, whoops-a-days. You can't see his belly at all on this one. So come around. And the shape of his stripes is what's going to give him the shape of his body as well. Give him that sort of three-dimensional rounder look. So I'm going to take the stripes a bit more like that. And that'll give, oops, not that sort of an angle. Gee willikers, that was I went a bit rogue there. Come back this way. And then the stripes sort of come down and then they go back onto his bottom. Oops, I want to go back to that dark. Goes onto his bottom. Then the stripes start to come from the back end. I'm actually going to shorten his bottom a bit. I'm going to shorten his back a fraction. There we go. Okay, that's okay. I can see one of his back legs sort of here. So you can only just see it. And it's up on the shore, so I'll just draw the hoof in there, the hoof. I can see stripes all down that back leg. It's funny, they've got stripes on their back legs, but not on their front legs. It's interesting. Very interesting. All right, onto this first one. I'm going to zoom him in so I can see him a bit better. I'm going to erase and just redraw in his face a little bit. And I've got to narrow off his muzzle. I've made his head too strong. There we go. And his eye, sort of a teardrop shape. and forelock and his mane. I'll bajaggedy up his mane in a minute. Then his mane gets shorter there. And again, I've got his chin too deep on this one. I've got to take it back a fraction. Give him a lower chin and a lower jowl. I'll just erase that bit. And come back here, erase that bit behind his cheek. That's a bit better. A little bit better. Alrighty. Now draw his lines on his face. Like that. And then these stripes come down and around his chin. And again, I'm not doing any exactly like the reference. I'm sort of taking the lines off in my own little directions a little bit. And then I continue around his ear. Having a quick look. Come down onto his chin. I've got his cheek way too far back there, so I'm just going to erase that again and then bring it back more to there and make the bottom of his head a bit thicker. That's a bit better. Now I'll erase that little bit there. Just had to make his head just old. I can see, as I'm doing it, I can see little bits that need altering. And I've drawn that many zebras in my life. They're one of my favourite subjects because they're so relaxing to do. Super relaxing to draw. Just going to erase this sort of messy line here. Get rid of my mark that I used to help measure him. And I'm going to start to draw his neck in, his neck details. Come up onto his mane. Okay. Hello, Atari. How are you, doll? How are you? I love how passionate you are to keep drawing daily. I wish I was not so much pain to keep up with drawing. Oh, I go through phases, Tari. I go through phases. I hit last week or the week before. Last year, I drew every single day for the whole year. And this year, I've struggled. I've got literally, I sit there and procrastinate and fuss around and do other things. And it's like, no, I've got to make myself get in the art room. So sometimes, believe me, sometimes I'm not in the mood, but I come up and I know once I start, I'm right. I've just got to start. That's the hard bit, getting started some days. But I'm sorry you're in pain, doll. That's no good at all. That's no good at all. Now I've realised I've got to move. I'm not happy with where the positioning of this front leg. I'm going to erase it and bring it more forward. It needs to be more that sort of a angle. And I've got to move that one as well. So I'm going to erase that one and then move that a fraction forward. Get it on a better angle like that. Or maybe a bit more even. I can adjust. So what are you up to today? Glad to catch you on again. Glad to have you here, doll. Glad to have you here. It's always lovely to see my buds, my mates. What's the weather like in New Zealand today, doll? We've got a stinker and it's blowing a gale. It's absolutely blowing a gale here today. Massive wind. I think it's about 35 today, so it's a bit cooler than yesterday. A little bit cooler. All right, I'm happy with that. Ish. I'll see how I go as I draw more lines on. I'm really not happy with the chest. I've got to erase that chest a bit and lose that back leg of that other horse a little bit. All right. That's a bit better. That looks a bit better. And I've gone back to my screen, projecting it to the screen, because then no one's looking up my nose and I'm not having reflections on the screen. Oh, Hawaii, you're not New Zealand. Near Kilauea. Oh, wow. I didn't realise you were in Hawaii. I don't know why I thought New Zealand. Why did I think you were in New Zealand? Where the hell did I get that from? Oh, I don't know where I got that from. Geez. Oh, I know. I was watching your video. It was your video that you had the music from the New Zealand fella. I've gone completely blank now on his name. Stan Walker, that's why, because Stan Walker is one of my favourite musicians. Oh, my word. He's so talented, that man. So clever. Have you gone down the wormhole of his life story on YouTube? Oh, my word. Watch the movie on his life. It's amazing. So inspiring what he's gone through. And beautiful voice. Stunning talent. Okay, that's why. Now I can see I've actually got to take his shoulder back a bit more. I've got the shoulder on too much of an angle. I've got to make it a bit coming more over his back like his wither. They're slightly, proportionally a little bit different to a standard horse. They've got stockier little bodies, and they don't have a hairy tail. Me Too, he's going on tour here, and yes, I've watched it. Oh, wow, yeah. It was just phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. What he's gone through to get to where he is. He's amazing. And cool that he's coming on tour. That is so cool. I'd love to see him live. I live close to where, like, New Zealand's only a 2-hour flight from here. And I've been before. I want to go. I think he lives in Melbourne part of the time. I've got to keep an eye out for when he's here. Because Melbourne's only an hour and a bit. Did your sister like your drawing of her pug? Yes, very much. Very much. And I've actually put him on my Etsy as well, and I'm going to make cups out of him because he's so cute. I can hear my little dog, my daughter's little dog is sooking because she wants to come in to the art room. Oh my goodness, she's being a real sook. I might have to go and get her in a second. I'm going to go get the doo-doo. I'll be back in a second. Hang on. Come on, Daisy. Come on. Come on, you little muppet. Come on, doo-doo. You're going to cry at the door. Come on up. There we go. Come on in. Come on in, doo-doo. Oh, don't bark at me. You're going to come and say hello? Bear said hello yesterday. You can come and say hello today. Hang on. Oh, let me pick you up. So this is Daisy. She's my daughter's and son-in-law's Jack Russell. She's a little brindle Jack Russell. Oh my God, you've got your foot in my top. And I've got Bear here as well. So we're a very doggy family. A very, very doggy family. We've got all the dogs. Actually, you know how I said that these don't have really, like they don't have real hairy tails? This particular species of zebra does. I'm not sure which zebra these are, but they do have quite swishy, thick tails. So that's interesting because there's about 4 or 5 different species of zebra, and they're all slightly different. You can see that one's back. I can see one of the back feet. I'm going to draw another foot there. This other one in the background, but he doesn't have stripes, or he does have stripes on his back legs, but not on his front legs. That is so unusual. All right, but I mean, they're all different. Their stripes are like fingerprints. I'll just draw his little stripes on his back legs there. Whoops-a-days. All right, let's have a look. Now I'm going to block in the background. I'm just going to go with a sandy colour, and I'm just going to go round. I'm just going to do round the horses, the zebras. It's going to cut around the outside edge like that. I know there's probably an easier way to do it, but I'm still doing things in a traditional style because I haven't figured out all the things yet. I saw there's a book you can get with all the on drag and drop. There we go. So that's the background marked in a little bit. And you can get, it gives you all the tips and tricks and all the how to do everything on Procreate. So, and I looked into it, but in Australia it's like $70. And I'm like, I'm not paying $70. I don't have $70. So, and I ordered one of my coffee cups today that I had made on my Etsy. And actually, it arrived today, and that turned out beautiful. So I'm really happy with the way the mugs, the quality of the mugs that are on my Etsy page. Because I ordered one for myself just to see what it was like, and it arrived this morning. So I'm a bit excited about that. But I've got my coffee in my thermos so it doesn't go cold today. Learn something new? Nice. We're teaching each other stuff, Dale. We're teaching each other all the things. Okay, so that's, and the water, oh, see, I've got to draw their reflections. Okay. How am I going to draw the reflections? So I'm going to change the colour of the water a little bit. What colour is the water? The water's sort of that bluey grey, isn't it? So I'm going to come around here. It's that lighter bluey grey. Just cut around the whole shape of them right up to the shoreline. Like that. Just cut right around the edge. Whee, all the way around. Whee. Because I've got to draw that mud's a slightly different colour anyway. Oops. And around there. And drag and drop. And that gives us that lighter colour for the water. Please show us the mug when you can. Okay, I'll be back in a second. I'll go grab it. It's in the kitchen. Stay there, puppies. Come on, Beth. You have to stay there because you howl at me. Okay. So, this is my owl mug. So it's got my flying owl on it. Can you see that? Hang on. It's got my, oh, that's not really showing up very well. It's got my flying owl on it. It's dark green. So it's exactly the same as my painting. But the picture's on the front of it. So the back's white, but the front's the photo of the painting. The new ones I've done with the pug, I've got them on both sides. They're on either side of the cup. So, copy the zebra mirror. Yeah. Oh, probably could. I probably could. But I'm a glutton for punishment. So I'm just going to do it a cheeky way in a minute. I'll work on the background first, I think. And, am I going to do that first? Decisions. Oh, now I'm scared. Oh, thank you. I'm very happy with the quality. They are very, very nice quality, and the print turned out beautiful. So I've got them on my Etsy page for $25 Australian dollars plus delivery. So, but it's beautiful quality. Like, I'm really, really happy, and they're microwave proof and all the things, and they're quite a large mug. Like, they're a good size mug, which is really handy. How would I mirror? That would be good. You know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to erase, be a bit cheeky, and erase. This is similar, just join the shapes. Have it disappearing off the page a little bit. Drawing the shapes. Doing it the hard way, peeps. I know in the big one, in that picture up the top, I've got them too low on the page now, but I'm just going to drop their reflections down in the bottom of the water. So it doesn't matter. Like that. Goodness gracious. I don't know, got to watch a tutorial. Yeah, me too. Me too. I meant to watch some tutorials, but it didn't happen. I'm just going to reverse it. Just look at the picture above and reverse. It doesn't have to be exactly the same either, because it's going to be shimmery with the reflection. The water will be shimmery, so I can get away with a little bit of artistic mischief like that. There we go. I will try when I can get a mug. Oh, that'd be lovely, Dale. That'd be great. Okay, so I'm going to leave that for the second. Now I'm going to go up the top. Oh, you know what I've done? I've done all that on one bloody layer. Oh, no. I'm an idiot, but that's okay. Okay. We're just going to blend that little bit in there. I've done all of that on one layer. Goodness gracious me. Great balls of cotton fluff. I guess we're doing it on one layer, people. I guess. We're not going to have 2 layers or 3 layers for this one. We're going to do it all on one bloody layer because I'm a real glutton for punishment. Okay, here we go. So I am going to get a soft brush, go back to my recents, get my soft brush. Hello, Will. How are you, Dale? I do that so much. Oh, my God, Will. I'm a glutton for punishment. Oh, okay, maybe not that big. Make it opaque, but make it smaller. Because I want to do the lighter reflections. As I can see, the water's got all lovely ripples. And how have you been, Will? What's been happening? And I'm just going to come over. Actually, you know what I should do? I should, now that I've said that, I should. Hey there, you speedy artist. Thank you. I am a bit fast. I'm having a moment. I'm actually going to draw the stripes on these ones in the shadows. Let's have a look. So they're pretty much the same, but I'm going to use a lighter tone. And then I've just got to remember to reverse the stripe patterns so that they're going to be in the water, and I'll do the shimmers over them. I haven't coloured the ones in the water yet, but I'll just fill them in like that. And it'll just give the illusion that the shadows are there. Just sculpting along with you. Awesome. Awesome, awesome. Awesome, awesome. I'm literally just sort of squiggling in the shapes. Not exactly the same, but I'm going to do ripples and waves and things over them, so you're not going to see a lot of this anyway. It's just going to be an illusion of the stripes and things. Having a quick look. Getting there. It's looking all right-ish. I know the reference up the top, I've got them much higher on the page, but oh well. The stripes are mainly down the back of the legs. All right, and the tail is dark. Comes down there like that. All right, so now I'm going to leave that like that, just leave it a subtle light shadow. And I've got an itchy nose. It's very windy today, so I've got the itchies. And I'm going to go back now and pop in some of this ripples over the top of these zebras in the water, and that'll diffuse them a little bit as well, which is what I need them to do. Get right down to the bottom of the page. Okay, I'll go a bit stronger. I'm going to go a bit more opaque. Just in shoreline, you can see the water's a bit more where their mouth is. The water's quite strong and reflective like that. Oops. And up and around here. There's mud on the bank, but the water right along the edge of the bank is a bit shiny. Like that. I'm just looking at little bits and sort of seeing what I can see. Okay. That'll do for the base. We're old school artists. We keep thinking one layer. I know I do. I do it all the time as well. Yeah, it's bad. Four zebras missing each other. Kissing each other, a nice concept. Yeah. That works. I'm going to add the muddy bit now. I'm going to go to a slightly more brown tone. Shrink that down a fraction so I can get right to the edge. Draw this muddy little banky bit coming along the edge. And I'll blend the bottom in so it sort of goes into the water a little bit. Yeah, I always bloody forget layers. So, oh well, we'll just do it traditional style. People say to me, you know, is it a lot easier doing... I've got to actually bring the mud down onto his back feet on the sand. So I'm going to bring the water line down a fraction there. People say to me, oh, is it much easier doing it digital? I'm like, no, not the way I do it. Got to go. Got to make dinner. Much aloha and mahalo for inspiring us. Oh, thank you. Well, thank you for being here, Dale. You enjoy your dinner. Save some for me, hey? Enjoy your dinner, Dale, and thank you for popping in. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to blend out some of these little, because I've done it all on one bloody layer. So I'm going to blend out some of these little squishy bits that I don't like. I'll just blend them into the background because the background's going to be mottled with all kinds of interesting things anyway, because I've got to do all that texture for the grass, the ground and the gravel and the rough sort of texture. All right, let's have a look. How am I going to do that? So it's a lot of light. Let's have a look. Go back to my lighter colour, a lighter greyish stone colour. I'm just going to mark in a few random spots on the background. It needs to be a bit lighter too. I'm going to actually add a few lighter tanny colours. Excuse my dog. It's having a good old... that's that colour. That's the same one. I'll go this one. I'm just going to add some soft, sort of smoky greyish. I've got to soften that background colour a little bit. It's a bit too harsh. So take that down there. It's a bit too stark and a bit harsh. So I'll just soften that up. You can see it's a bit greyer underneath the zebra. I'll be going over the zebra anyway, so it doesn't matter if I get a bit of the fluffy colour onto them. So I'll be going over them anyway. All right, and I do have a gravelly sort of a brush, I think. Let's have a look at my brushes to see what I've got. So I've got, can't wait to see this complete. Thank you, Dale. Thank you. I can't either. I'm looking forward to it. We'll go elements. Spray paints. Nah. Materials. Oh, here we go. What do we got here? Zombie skin. Wow. Vintage? No. Industrial. Oh, that could work. Let's have a look. I'm going to go a stronger colour now for the gravelly sort of, I'm going to go about that colour. Let's have a look. No, I don't like that. It's too uniform. Don't like it. Go back to this brush and have a look. What else we got? I'll go to Ergo. Ergo, I really like some of the effects that Ergo has. Well, actually, organic clay. And I can put it in patches like that. There we go. That creates a little bit of a gravelly effect. And I can take that down onto the edge of the water as well. Like that. The back of the mud is a little bit darker. And whoops-a-days. Resting my hand on it and pressing all the buttons. Make it bigger. Go bigger. Just going to add a few little flecks of this around in the background. So larger in the foreground and it will get smaller in the distance. So that's how you don't have it all looking flat. So I'm just going to erase. That's not going to work. I'm going to have to blend. I'm going to blend all that, soften it, because it's got to be smaller in the background. So I'll just blend that out. So literally just blend it and it models that background up nicely. Get rid of the harsh lines. Then I'm going to zoom in a bit. I'll draw a few little rocks because there are a few little rocks. I'll go back to my Untitled brush. And I'm just going to, whoops, not have it that big, of course. Make it small. And just draw in the shapes of these little rocks you can see in the background. And they're just sort of like half circle-y shapes. I know that one's touching that zebra's bottom, but I'm not going to do, I'm going to do it like more separate from the animal. Just do a few random little stony bits. They're smaller just down here because they're like pebbly bits down there. And I'm going to fill those in. Just make that a bit larger and fill that in. I'm just going to work my way around backwards and forwards. Just juggle my way around. Wiggly woggly. Wiggly waggly woggly. It doesn't have to be perfect yet. I'm just marking things in, getting things where I want them. Figuring out shapes of things. I can blend that a little bit just to, oh, not erase, my goodness. Blend. Fraction. Just to soften them a little. Oops. Okay, now I'll do little shadows under them. So I'll go a stronger greyish tone underneath. You know what? It's even darker than that. I need to go darker. I'll go that sort of a shadow. I might make it a little less opaque though. Like that, so it's not quite so strong. Draw the shadows underneath some of these little rocks and on the sides of them. Like that. So I'm just looking at where the shapes and the shadows would be. And I can see I've also got that one's way too strong. Blend that out a little bit. So it's a little bit of a shadow. Just soften them. Soften the shadows. There we go. So I just touch them with my little blender. Now I'm having another look. I'm going to do very... oh, that's not good. I'm going to go a different brush. I'm going to have a look. I'm going to have a look at the brushes that I've got. What's abstract? What have we got in abstract? Nah. Textures. I might be able to use... We'll have a look at Dove Lake. Yeah, that works. And I'll just do it less opaque, just to create a little bit of gravelly texture. There's all the footprints and all the birds have been pecking around at the bugs that get into the dirt, and you can see all the little marks and the little footprints of all the animals that come down to drink at this water supply. And I'll draw them in that's darker under the animals. Like that. That's sort of almost shadowy behind them. So I'll mark that in. And I'm going to actually put a little bit more of a darker tan on the top of these rocks. I'm going to go back to my Untitled brush and just put a little bit of a slightly darker tone on top. Not a lot, just because they look a bit flat. They're not flat. I don't want them to look flat. Put a bit of texture onto the rocks as well and then blend it. Doesn't want to blend. Why don't you want to blend? Blend. There we go. Soften that up like that. All right. I'm going to go super dark just in the back part of the mud up here. And I'll blend it. Soften the edge like that. Just create that little bit of contrast. And there's a little bit of it up there too, where you sort of trod on the... I'll put that back there again and make it a bit thicker like that, and then blend it. That ought to be a bit more visible like that. I'm going to come in, it's darker in behind them, behind their little leggies. And behind his head there. Like that. Okay, make him bigger now so you can see him a bit better. I don't know why I'm working so small. Hello, Paintera, how are you? Finally get to catch a stream. Well, welcome. It's lovely to have you here, doll. How has your day been? I forgot to change layers. I'm doing it all on one bloody layer. I forgot. I've gone all traditional on myself and it's like, oh no. Now I've just got to do it all on one layer. I freak myself out sometimes, doll. I'm trying to make me doodah smaller and it doesn't want, get back. Uh-oh, there it is. Trying to make my thing move. It doesn't want to play the game today. There we go. How's your day? I know. Really good, really good. Bloody windy. It is super duper windy. Is it windy where you are? So what I'm going to, I was just going to rub that off with my hand. I'm just going to blend that because now I've put that on there. And I'm going to put that water pattern back because I'm on one bloody layer. Let's put, oh, no, that's not soft enough. Got to go like that. Actually, no, I've got to go to my soft airbrush, don't I? Go back to my recents, go my soft brush, and I've got to put that, where'd it go? I've got to put that back. There. Well, that's way too doodah. Got to undo-dah that. Wait, I need it less opaque. There we go, that's better. We had a storm last night and it didn't cool down. Oh, no, just hot and muggy. Yuck. Yeah, I don't like muggy. Not a fan of muggy. Not a fan of muggy at all, doll. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to be brave. And I'm going to make my doodah really small. And I'm going to make my reference real. Oh, my God, my doodah doesn't want to, my thing doesn't want a thing. I need to get my stripes coloured in. So I'm just going to start with a brown base and work my way to dark. Hate it when my thing doesn't think. Oh my God, my thing's gone rogue. My thing has gone fair and it's gone rogue today. I've lost control of all my things. I changed my art room around. I've rearranged everything, which was probably not a great idea because now I probably have to change it all back. I moved my computers and everything. So, yeah, that was fun. I did that this morning. I'm not liking this brush. I'm going to change to a smaller brush. I'll go to my Untitled. Ah! Oh, that's even worse. Let's not do that. Let's go really little. There we go. Is that better? Not decided. That's better. Now I can get into all the little bits. But, yeah, I've got my doodahs go rogue and my things don't thing. And it's all kinds of pain in my world. Story of my life. Story of my life. I'm just going to brown in all the dark bits. So this is where it's very, very relaxing. It's like a mandala painting, like when you're doing all that colouring in Zentangles and things. It is so ridiculously relaxing. I'm just going to make that bigger again. Gee willikers. Yeah. And I had all the best intentions. I haven't drawn zebras in ages. And I was like, oh, I really want to draw a zebra. So then I decided to draw 2 and a water scene. And I'm like, well, that was just a stupid idea, wasn't it? Because I'm a glutton for punishment. Now, I just, oh, you can't see. They've got fuzzy wuzzy bits in their ears, but I'm going to mark that like that. And then I've got to remember the stripe travels up the mane and around the neck. So I continue that around. And yesterday I had my camera, I had an overhead camera. So I was filming literally the top down on my iPad, but then everyone was looking up the reflection up my nostrils. So we decided not to do that today again. Oh, don't want to do that. So, yep. So I'm back to projecting it to the computer now. Because, yeah, everyone was looking up my nostrils yesterday and I freaked myself out when one of the guys was like, oh, I was trying to get away from the reflection and it's you. And I'm like, oh, no. So, yeah. So then I stuck my whole head over it so they could see up my nose. Because that's how I roll. I have an evil sense of humour some days. Some days. I have the tired stupids, I think, a little bit too. Now, I've just realised I've got to thicken up that stripe. It's looking a bit odd. So I thought I heard someone call out then. Got both my doggies are in here with me. Or 2 of them. I've got one down in the lounge room because if I let her in the art room, she howls. She just sits there and howls at me. She knows I have to stop. Okay. Especially on stream. Yes, tired stupids are always fun. Oh, my God. Yeah. Sometimes I get off stream and I'm like, oh, my God, what just happened? But it's really funny because I game sometimes as well. I haven't gamed in ages. But followers put quotes from my gaming. Oh, my God, I was reading through them this morning. I'm like, shivers, I'm really bad when I game, especially when I'm tired. Because I was reading all the quotes and I'm like, oh, my God, I came out with some crazy stuff. But, yes. And how are your skulls? How's your art going? How'd you end up going yesterday? That was looking beautiful. I love that smoke sort of flamey effect around the edge of your work. That looked absolutely stunning. Stunning. You have the patience of a saint to be able to do that sort of work. The absolute patience of a saint. So this is very rough for now. Very rough. I'm just blocking it all in. There'll be a couple of layers. When I say layers, I mean traditional layers. Like I will go over the top and over the top to, because, yeah, I've gone full traditional style on this digital. Because I start with this brown and then I'll add blacks or dark purples at the bottom and at the end I'll pop highlights on the top where the sun's reflecting, just putting some of that smoke effect back. Currently it felt a little too prominent or something. Otherwise I think it's done. Awesome. Wow. Very good. Very, very good. So have you got the next design in mind? I was going to do more dogs today and then I just thought, nope, I need a zebra. I felt the need for zebra. And I was going to draw 1, but of course not. It had to be 2 because why not? Come down and around. See, I'm changing the stripes a little bit as I realise I've got too much of a gap between one or the other and I just sort of alter it. Yeah, it will be something similar, I think. Not sure though. Cool. Cool. Come down and around, filling in. Yeah, really, I've always loved oil, like looking at oil painting. I haven't got the patience. Waiting for it to dry. I don't know how. Yeah, I'm too impatient. I'm very impatient and a little bit too sort of, I jump around all over the place. I get distracted really easy. I've sort of got the attention span of a blade of grass and the memory of a blade of grass. So I find digital, I can get the vibrancy of oil without the having to wait for it to dry, because I'd end up with this a big blob of mess. Me too. It's fun working that way. Oh, I want to do some charcoals. Oh my God, I love charcoals. But the art supply store I ordered from was useless. Oh no. Oh, that's no good. I can recommend, there's a place in Victoria. I can recommend Alchemy Art Supplies. The Alchemist Art Supplies. She is absolutely brilliant, and she's a drawer first. So she's got every kind of beautiful pencil you can imagine, and charcoal, inks. She supplies, I love watercolours as well, and she supplies my Sennelier watercolours to me. And she's a framer on top of it. But she is just phenomenal. So I can check them out. Yeah, I'll type it into chat so you can see how it's spelled. The Alchemist Art Supplies. She's on Instagram as well, and she also has. She'll get anything you need. If there's a specific brand you want, she'll get it. She's in Kyneton, Victoria, so it wouldn't be too long for her to send product. But yeah, she's a real professional, really, and she loves nice quality. Like, her shop's not big, but she has beautiful stock and beautiful fountain pens, because I love ink. I love ink, and she's got beautiful inks and a really good range of papers and canvas and everything. Oops, doesn't want to. There we go. Just continue around. So still blocking in. I've got to come around there too, because that, I'm just going to drag and drop for a second. I'm getting, oh, come on, drag and drop, you poopy head. Drag and drop. Oh, it doesn't want to. Why is it not? Okay, let's not. Let's just do, what? Continue filling it. Fine, I'll do it my way. I'll do it old school. I must have pressed a thing. See, I press all the things and then things don't work. So let's just not do that. I continue on around his bot. It's not exactly the same as the reference, but the reference is a guide more than anything. I've got my stripes going off in different directions and things, but I sort of follow the general gist. And I'm looking at this, and these guys have got browns and everything in amongst their whites. It's just amazing. When you start looking at the colours, there are so many colours in them. So many colours. It's just phenomenal. I get so enthralled, so enthralled with the colours in things. And when you start to look, you can see there's little stripes within the stripes, and there's brown and there's sandy colours, and they really do have all the colours of their surroundings. They can blend into pretty much anything, anywhere. But this particular breed of zebra, I'm not sure which one it is, but they've got real variation in their coats. Okay, so having another quick look. I'm going to work on the distant one first. So I'm going to go in now. I'll go in with the light. I'm not going to go the white. I'm going to go in sort of that creamy colour, because he's not pure white. I'm going to start to block in that in between the darker stripes, and still traditionally just hand swiggling in the lines. I tried to drag and drop. I give up. My drag and drops flopped. So I'm just going to do it this way. And just exactly the same. So anyone if you're concerned about not knowing how to do digital art, don't worry about it. Just treat it like traditional, because that's how I'm rolling. And you can do anything you can do traditionally, you can do. It just gives you more freedom to reverse things, to undo. I find it's more forgiving. The palettes are so much easier to mix, like cheaper supplies. I've got 30 years worth of supplies sitting behind me, but it is much nicer not having to buy paper. The only paper I buy now is print paper. Like I buy my photograph paper and I print these onto photo paper. If I decide I love something and I want to hang it on my wall, I'll use printing paper and hang it up with that. Whoops. I've got my glove on, but it was a cheap one that I got off whatever that website thingy is, Temu. It's a Temu glove, so it doesn't really work. It sort of stops me resting my hand on the page. But my husband made me a stand for my iPad, which is really handy, so I can rest my elbows and everything, because my hand gets sore when I'm just using the iPad without the stand. So it's like an easel that he's cut a hole in so that the iPad rests into the easel. You can buy them, but yeah, my hubby made it for me because he's very talented, so that I can rest my arm when I draw and stuff, when I'm colouring. And you can see that white goes all the way to the top, but then the very top of the mane is dark. It's fun when you start to look. It's really good fun. All right, starting to come to life. We're starting to get a little bit of life in it, mate. Starting to. It's amazing how quickly it can come together. And I haven't used pure white. This is a cream. And to get your palette with iPad, to get the palette to match the colours, all I did was I went up here, I pressed the plus button, new from photos, and I tap on that photo and it brings up every colour in that photo onto a palette for me. So I'm not having to mix up palettes. So it makes life a lot easier. That's one of the things I really love about this. I haven't used any other digital medium. I am thinking down the track I might get a Wacom and get a big screen, like, because you can get the ones that are almost not a metre, but they're quite large, like triple the size of an iPad, for working on larger pieces and stuff. Like you can do murals the size of a wall. So I'm thinking, because I've been asked to do murals, so I'm like, if I got one of those, but I've never used one of those before. I think it was a Wacom. Got to do a bit more research, but that'll be years down the track because they're a lot of money. All right, come down here. But these do beautiful quality prints. Come down here, go around that ear, down onto the... Now you can see, like I said before, that leg, there's no stripes on the front leg of this one, which is really interesting. I'm just going to block it in fully first. I'll add shadows at the end. Shadows are the last thing I'll do. So I'm just blocking in for now. That foot disappears off into the water. And I'll tidy up any excess lines at the end. Because yay, one layer, as you do. Can't believe I did that, but anyway. Oh well. Continue on around. All right. I can go on to that other zebra a little bit because it doesn't matter. I'm going to go over it anyway. Now I can see also, I can add little bit more white on top or cream colour on top as well. As you can see a little bit of lighter coloured fur on the top. I didn't do the stripes on his legs because why? So I'll just mark the white parts in now. He's got stripes on his back legs, just not on his front legs, which is really unusual. So I'm going to go up here. Actually, no, I was going to that chocolatey brown, wasn't I? Not going to the darkest darks yet, just going to the chocolates. And add in little lines that don't have to be exact. That. right. And the hooves are dark. So I'll use the same colour for the hooves because why not? Why not for now? Just to mark that in, make it a little bit easier for me. All right. And in the middle of their stripes, they've got a different brown. So I'm going to go in with this brown in the middle. I'm going to make it less opaque and thinner because that one's a bit too thick. And I'm going to add that slightly darker colour. I can actually use that for the shadow tone coming down here. Blend that in like that. And I'll blend that. So just soften that like that, blend it down, blend it to the front of the leg like that. It's way too vibrant at the second, but it will calm down, I promise. Go back to that original colour I had. Add this darker tone into these other lines of white. As you can see, they've got all different colours, which is fascinating. Love it. All right, and I'm also going to take that up the entire base of the mane, like that, and I'm going to make it less opaque again and just add a little bit in to the top of the mane. You can see it looks really messy when you zoom in. I'm just going to blend out a little bit of this backgroundy bit. I can see my original drawing line there, so I'll just blend that out. And tidy all that up sort of at the end. That's where I dragged and dropped and left a little gap. I'm going to blend that back into the zebra's chin. I'm just working my way around. I'll blend the background back up to the bottom of the neck. Blend it right back up and in, close. So that just moves that background colour in to close that edge in, like that. Come around the top of his back. Just getting rid of any of those excess lines that I don't like. Around this second zebra. Okay, well, I'll worry about the first zebra. Okay, let's zoom out and have a look. Okay, he's looking all right. We're getting there. So now I've got to do the brown on his muzzle as well. So he's darker brown on his muzzle. Whoops, that's not the right one. I'll go that middle brown there. Oh, I need it to be opaque. Because he's got darker on the top. And he's got like muddy, sandy colour on the front. So I'll go to that middly one. I'll make it less opaque. There we go. Come around his nostril. Down to the water. Like that. Okay, having a look. I've got to go dark into his nostril. I'll go that dark brown into his nostril. Like that. And his mouth. I'm going to blend that line of brown into the lighter brown, like that. I'll add a little bit of light back into it as well. I'll go back to that lighter tanny colour. Just onto the tip of his nose. I'm going to add like that dirty sort of pinky colour into his ear. And I can also use that as a shadow on his leg. Comes down the back of his leg. And you can see I've missed a bit of sand there, so I'll have to add that sand in. Take it onto his fetlock down there. All right. I'm going to blend that little bit of the background, that messy. I'm going to zoom out so we can have a look at him again. Okay, he's looking all right. Looking all right. We're getting there. We're getting there, peeps. A little bit more, a little bit of a stronger colour into the ear. A little bit around the outside of the eye as well, because I can see he's got quite a dirty colour around his eye. What colour was I using? That one. And he's got quite dirty fur around his face. Bring the opacity up a little bit. So roll around in the dirt to get the flies and stuff off him. Having another look. Under here he's darker. Okay. Having a quick look. I need to dull down that back leg. So I'm just going over it with this lighter brown but very translucent over the top. That dusty sort of colour over the top of the whole leg on the back that you can see, and that just dulls that down a fraction so it doesn't jump forward at you the whole time. Okay, now I'm going to go into the super dark. Oh, that's not the right button, that one. Get my brush and I'm going to add super dark into the bottom of his stripes. So I'm going to work my way from the front to the back. I'll zoom in a bit. Oh, there we go. Go zoom, zoomy zoom. And I'm going to darken up. It's a really deep purple. It's not actually black. It's a super deep purple. Oh, because I haven't got the opacity up, silly duffer. There we go. Now you can see it. I'm just going to do that on the bottom of all of his stripes, and then I'll blend it a little bit up. I was like, why am I not seeing that? It's because I didn't bloody... and I'll do it on the top of his mane as well. Just to start blacken up. I'll add it into the tops of his mane as well. Keeps it sort of uniform. Keeps it coherent. It all blends nicely then. Little bits of the same colour through everywhere. And you can see when you look up close, it's a bit of a mess, but it has the right effect when you look at it from a distance, like a traditional piece. And I'm very drawerly, like I'm very painterly. I'm not a perfectionist. I like things to look right, but I still like them to look painterly. I like to look at a picture and wonder what people have done and be able to see what they've done. Like I love looking at the old masters' paintings and seeing how they've done it and what their brush strokes are like and the directions of their brush strokes and things like that. I can stand there for hours just looking at all of that. Now I'm going to take this dark down onto all of these stripes on his body, and a little bit up the, I pressed a thing, and a little bit up the top. I'll blend that in and down. At the bottom, at the top, around these little bits, up on her back, like that. All right, that's looking better. So it's not just one flat, it's not just flat black and white. I'll also add a little bit into the iris, a little bit into the ear, that super dark. Having a quick look. All right, that's looking all right. He's looking a bit flat along the back. What have I done? What have I got to do? I can see, yeah, okay, I see what I've done. I've got to take that lighter tone and I'm going to soften off the lines on the top of his back. I've got them all too flat. If you look at the photograph on the left, none of those lines are straight. They all are bedraggedy at the top. Bedraggedy and bajiggedy. So I've got a bedraggedy and bajiggidium. Make them not universally flat. There we go. Now he doesn't look quite so flat. Little things like that you look at, and I've got to get rid of that pencil line, so I'm going to go over that with the white a little bit. because I didn't do layers. So the underdrawing's visible. But oh well. All right. All right, now I'm going to blend a little bit just around the edge of the legs here. Tidy up that little bit. All right, now as you can see I've missed the water in there, so I'm going to add this. If I use this colour anyway. No, whoops. Go back to that sort of a colour. Drop the opacity. Bring it up in behind that leg in there. To add that watery textury bit. Add a bit of a lighter one. Where was it? That one? That one. Oh, nope. That one. That one. Okay. Take that in. A bit more opaque. Take it right along that edge, actually. That top edge of the water. Around the horse's face, or the zebra's face. I keep calling him a horse. They're technically not. I'm going to go over that pencil line there. I'm just sort of deleting out, going over the bits that I don't want. There's one layer. All right. Like that. And I might just leave the reflections in the water as that faint reflection. So, having a quick look. I need to dusty brown that front leg a little bit. Maybe a grey. Maybe that grey. Take it down that front leg and just blend it down a little bit, just to soften it. Just blend it. Put it down the bottom as well. Thank you for the raid. Thank you, Kurja. How are you? Thank you so much. Shout out to Kurja. Hang on just a second. I'll just do a shout out. Shout out. Shout out at Kurja. How are you, doll? Kurja. How do I spell it? Kur. There we go. Why did that not work? Oh, there we go. Hey! Love you to not follow this awesome creator. Oh, Dead Space. Oh, my God. So Dorcas Maximus loved the name. I'm okay, thanks. Dinner time, so I figured I'd dump people on you. Thank you so much. It is very much appreciated. Very much appreciated. So you were playing Dead Space. Oh, my God. I scream a lot in Dead Space. I am very bad at Dead Space and I do lots of screaming. So I'm going to use this creamy colour. Oh, go back up to this creamy colour again. Not the wrong creamy colour. And start to fill in these not stripy bits. Yes, what time is it here? I don't even know what time. It's 2:30 in the afternoon here. So welcome in, welcome in. So hi, I'm Jen. I'm an artist, as you can tell, and I play games very badly. I do love games, but yeah, very bad. And yes, I've got into digital recently, so I'm doing iPad art now. I'm using Procreate on my iPad and creating artworks and absolutely loving it, except I'm forgetting all the things. So I'm sort of almost doing it like traditional style, but digital medium. So yes, so it's good fun, but it's a whole world of wrong. So I continue down and around. So what else has been happening in your world? If you've got to go to dinner, I'll let you go, but thank you so much for coming around, mate. That's very much appreciated. It's always lovely. It's been for ages, because I've only been back regularly on stream the last few weeks. So it's really lovely to be able to see everyone again, because I didn't realise how much I missed everyone till I got back on, and I'm like, oh, I get to talk to everyone again. So I'm just filling in between these stripes with a cream colour for now, because they're not pure white. They've got a bazillion different colours on them. I will adjust some of these stripes as I go. And in my absolute infinite wisdom, I've got it all on one layer. Okay. I just continue around. I can go over the ear a bit, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Just focus on there, get all these. I've got to remember to keep going around, keep the shape around the neck. You don't want the neck to look flat. If you did just straight lines, it would look flat. So you've got to keep them with a U shape going around, and it gives them that barrel-y shape of their neck, because they're quite stumpy little dudes, these zebra. Quite sturdy, stumpy little dudes. Continue on and around. Da-da-da. My dogs have gone to sleep under the table. I'm looking out the window. No storms yet. It's been very windy. There's supposed to be storms this afternoon. It's been blowing an absolute gale. Even the birds were trying to balance, and they're standing on the fence and on the ground with their wings stretched out so they didn't blow away, so they wouldn't fall over. You know it's windy when the birds are grounded and they're standing with their wings stretched out to try and balance. They're funny little dudes. I have all my little tiny finches have got into the bushes at the front door. So I've got all bushes out the front of the house, and they're all out the front. So they know they don't get as much wind out there. So it's very cute. So now I'm sitting, before I was sitting in the lounge room and looking at all the little birds looking at me in the window going, make it stop. Because I feed all the burbs. I get all burb seed for all my burbs because I love to draw the burbs. And there's nothing better than sitting out the back and drawing them while they're all playing around. But today they've all blown away. Oh, goodness. All right, continue on. Round and down. Now I'm having a look here. These ones sort of go into the front. This one's got quite a broad chest. Quite a broad chest. And I'll adjust as I add the darks and stuff. I can readjust. I can't remember, did I do the dark? I did the dark first last time, didn't I? Oh my God, I'm in Nong. The other zebra, I started with the dark lines. And now I'm doing the lights. I've reversed myself, because why not? Why not? The rules are, there are no rules. Now, and the zebra on the left doesn't have stripes down his front legs, where this one does. So, really interesting. So they're the same species, I'm pretty sure, because you can tell but the difference of species by their ears, the shapes of their ears, and their height. Because I know one of the species, I can't remember which ones they are, the scientific names or anything, but they've got round ears. One lot's got round, very round. And these guys have got more horse-like pointed. They're named after places in Africa. That much I know, but if off the top of my head I cannot remember the different names of the species. I'd have to Google. So now I come down and around. And yeah, I've done it all on one layer. Okay, keep on keeping on. Which dog's at the door? Oh no, it's Pippi, that's all right. I've got two dogs here asleep and one dog down in the lounge room. All right, continue around. That's what I love doing. The zebras are one of my favourite things to draw and paint because it's just so incredibly relaxing. All right, come over here. Continue on. Whoops-a-days. Following around the shape, around his belly, like that. Go onto the back of this one, back and around. All right. Might even play a game tomorrow. I might get me Lara Croft out. I haven't played in forever. Let's see what games I've got loaded on my PC. Get motivated. All right, continuing on, filling in. There we go. Having a quick look at the big screen. Looking all right. We're getting there. Lucky I've got my coffee in a thermos. This thermos keeps it hot all day, like 7 hours I'll get out of the coffee. It's a Yeti coffee mug, and it's like a mega one. It's a monster. It's bigger than my head. But it keeps my coffee hot. I made that coffee at like 9 o'clock this morning, and it's now 2:30 in the afternoon and it's still hot. I love the Yeti ones. Yeti thermos. I'm not backwards and forwards making cups of coffee all day or drinking iced coffee, because I always end up, when I have it in a cup, I end up with it cold. All right, continuing down. It's amazing how much the colours, once you start to mix the colours, the different browns and the different creams, it really makes it pop. And I'm just, in my mind, I'm already thinking about the next thing. I'm already wondering how I'm going to create the reflections, finish them off, or do I just leave them subtle and an illusion like that, not make them any more vibrant? Just keep them simplified and little. In my mind, I'm already working. I always do. I'm thinking of the next thing. I'm always thinking of the next thing. Continue on. Doesn't matter if these lines are a little bit bajiggity. All right. Okay, looking all right. I'm going to go onto the darks now, and I go back with my chocolate brown. Start at the muzzle and work my way down. Or work my way round, rather. Filling in all these lines. Do the ones on the top of his face. Come around. Whoops, pressed a button. Around his cheek. I'll just darken in his eye. I'm just going to pop that brown into his eyeball, into his iris. Around that jiggity bit around his eye, around his face and his cheek and his jowl there. They look a real mess when you start. Once you get to the final touch-ups, they really come together, which is really good fun. And the tops of their manes are super dark, so I've got to add that on. Cut around this, oops, doesn't matter that I've gone over the ear because I've got to do the ear detail anyway at the end. Put the fairy bits on the top of the mane. Continue round. There we go. Top of the mane. Just keep on filling them in. I'll make them a little bit irregular, the stripes. I don't want them to be so flat. So make them a little bit irregular. Keep it coming round. I'm thinking the whole time I'm drawing, I'm thinking about a million things. I'm thinking, what are we going to have for dinner? Am I going to play piano? How the hell am I going to hang the washing out when we've got 100k wins? I'm always thinking about a million things. My brain just never stops. Okay, while I'm drawing, it's just like, wee. Continue around. Okay, I'm going to zoom out and have a quick look. Look, they're looking all right. We're getting there. Slowly, slowly. Right at the very end, I'll tidy it. You right there, Doo-Doo? Having a good old scratch? Oh, there's Bear Bear. He's under my table. I've got 2 dog beds in here. Got one over the left-hand side of the room and one... Oh, she's wagging her tail and whacking me in the leg with her tail. All right, come down and around. Oopsie-daisy. Doesn't matter, I don't mind. I'm going to make that just a different shape because they're not universal. Not all the same and completely symmetric. Bring that brown down there a bit more, join them together a bit. And I love when I draw, like it compositionally, I like things to touch. I really like to have things joined. So how these two are standing together and they're sort of, they become, they're joined. They look like they're touching each other. I really like in a composition when things connect. It just makes things far more nice to look at rather than have one thing over here and one thing over there. I learnt that as I got older because I tended to draw lots of portrait things and it was just one thing. And then as I started to do herds of things, I'd do each individual animal and then I'm like, hang on, if you connect them, it makes it much more aesthetically pleasing. So, I need to do these stripes. The darker ones aren't as thick, so I've got to add the white around to see where I've gone wrong there. I'm going to fill in those stripes with dark. I'll go back in with the lighter colour at the end. Go down and around like that. Lines get littler sort of towards the waterline. There we go. I'll have to go back over that leg with the light. Bring this chocolate brown down the body now. Then I'm working my way down the back of his body. All right. Going to split that stripe and I'll put a bit of cream in the middle there just to give it was looking a bit thick and a bit bleh. So I'm just going to split that there and make it a bit of a different shape, make it a bit more pleasing to the eye. So I sort of ad lib as I go. I change things if I think it would look better. I just change the odd thing. I can add a little stripe there. I've thrown myself by doing the white first, but that's okay. Okay, come down here. I'll join that one. Come around the back of his back. Just fill that in. I could drag and drop, but I'm just going to fill it in because it just looks nicer. All right, let's have a look. Where are we going? We're doing all right. We come around the front. Around his back. Zoom out on them a little bit. And I can see what I've done there. I've got to take those stripes, those lighter stripes back down, connect them a bit more. Oh, I think I can hear thunder. All right, come down the back here. Fill these back end stripes in. Doesn't matter that they're bajiggity and going onto the wider areas because fur isn't smooth and flat edged. So they can be a little bit rough around the edges. It is not a problem and it's not a rule breaker. I can see what I've done there. That's his flank. Okay. Just going to take this line down here. I've got just a bit of white, a bit of cream on his belly. I'll add some more cream in. I'll go back in a second and add that. And I've got to put the dark on his tail. Take that right down. These guys have got full tails, which usually zebras have just a tuft at the end. Not a lot of full tail, but oh well. So whatever species these are have a full tail. Which is interesting. See, you learn. The more you learn, the more you look, the more you learn. And drawing is a great way to get to know your subject because you look at all their mannerisms, all their posture. It is fascinating how much you learn about a creature by drawing them. It is amazing. I'm going to change these stripes again, same as I did in my front. Make them darker, thinner, and I'll add the light ones on. I'll do the whole tail, like that. Okay, now I'm going to go back to my cream and add that into the bits that I missed and I did wrong. I'm going to come in and fill in these bits on the legs. Zoom in a little bit. Continue on. All right. These legs sort of connect. That one disappears off behind, but it's okay. I'm just going to fill that in. I'll add the shadows at the end when I've done. I'm just blocking in for now. Just blocking in for now. Okay. And I can blend the edges a little bit as well. And add little bits when I need to. I'm just blocking, 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 blocking. And he's got quite dark little fetlocks too. I'll fill them in light for now, but I'll make them dark at the end. I've got to go back onto this front leg, fill in these stripy bits that I missed. Come down the whole length of the leg. This is interesting because I'm trying to decide, do I want to see any of the original drawing, because I usually delete the underdrawing, but I can't because it's one layer. So like, do I want to leave some of the underdrawing or do I want to delete it? I'm not happy with this leg. I'm going to have to adjust that a bit. Let's go down onto this left front leg. Fill that in. Might go around the outside in a minute. The little zebra. It's very bright. I've got to dull that down a bit. And you can see how messy that is. But I will fix that up. Promise. I'm going to fix that, do that foot, that hoof, like that. I've got to add mud and dirt and texture and all kinds of fun things yet. All right, so now I'm going to go back into my sandy colour, that sandy colour, and I'm going to go right around the edge of Mr. Zebra and just connect all that background as close in as I can. Then I'll dust it off and soften it. Around there, around the edge of his tail. Not the right way to do it, but oh well. Do what you got to do. Let's continue on around that edge. Just filling in any of the bits that I can see that I've missed. Come right around his tummy. Fill in all that little bit. Around the back of that front leg. I'm working in between the front legs. Just sort of deleting out those pencil lines as well. And I'll add some more sort of sandy colours in there to soften that so it doesn't look like I've just gone around the edge with it and he's got like a golden orangey halo. Continue down that front leg. Let's have a look. I've got to go across his back, tidy his back up, like that. Okay, zoom in on this other one, do the same thing around the edge of him. Tidy up these edges. I've made a bit of a mess. And I'll just add some more texture around there. In a minute. All right. Whoops, make him bigger. Get bigger. There we go. All right, you can see I've missed lots of his undercolour. But we're getting there. We're getting there. All right, I'm going to go back in now with this dustier, sort of a browny colour. I'll use that one. Make it more opaque, less opaque rather. And you can see he's got a lot of that down in here. I'm going to make it bigger. And he's got that in amongst all of these white stripes. I'll take it over the little bits of blue you can see scattered through in the background colour still. That's all shadow under here. And I don't mind. Oh, I've got to do that little thing called, that little thing on the behind the knee there is called a chestnut. So I've got to draw in the chestnut. I'll just mark that in. That's when they're newborn, that's what connects their front legs together. When they come out with their legs touching at the front, and they come out of mum when they're born, those chestnuts, those little brown things on their knees on the inside, hold their legs together so they don't scratch mum on the way out. Bit of trivia for you all. All right, darken off the back of this leg. And it's almost the same colour as the background, but it's less opaque. Okay, zoom out again. That leg's a real mess, but we'll get there. I've got to add stripes to the front as well. To his fetlock. Down onto his paston. Okay, righto. Come up under the neck, and they've got the stripes within stripes. So add that in. His ears are quite dirty on the inside, so I'll mark all that in that same colour. The front of his mane is a little bit dirty. He's quite, you can see, he's had a good old roll, this horse, this zebra. He's had a good old roll and got all his white dirty. He's quite, oh, husband's home. He's got quite a lot of colour. I'm now going to take that up the base of his mane. And now onto his body. We're going to start to add, come around his body. Up here. Start to add this tanny colour within his white stripes. Because when you look, they are amazingly dirty. Dirty, 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 dirty. Okay. There's so many colours when you look, and that's what I love. Whoops, it is. Hit a button. Press the brush. Hello, I'm streaming. Oh, I'm streaming, Bug. All good. Is my daughter home? my little buggy boo. Let's shut that door. Yeah. Ow, my arm. My arm's getting tired. So come down here, fill it under this leg. Make it a bit darker on that inside hind, outside hind actually, the right hand, his right hind. Around the outside of that hock on his back leg. I'm going to blend it all in a minute and it'll all look a whole lot nicer because it's looking a bit finicky and a bit messy right about now. All right, so I'm going to get my blending tool. Whoops, that's not blending. Undo, blend, my blending tool. I'm just going to soften all of this. Soften the edges of all the... Actually, I'll start at the nose and I'll work my way back. It's easier. I'll just do that. And I'll start on the left horse, left zebra, and I'll work my way back. Get rid of the hard lines because there aren't any hard lines. It's all fur and it's all soft. So I'm just going to get rid of those now. So I'm literally just using the blending tool and dragging it over all the lines, the edges of the lines, to soften everything like that. Just touch the edges, soften it all together and work my way around both of the zebra. And that will make it look much nicer. Little things you learn. Blend all that in. That also diffuses the little bits that I've missed. Hey Bug, I'm streaming. Sorry. How was your day? Awesome. My dogs are so happy to see Buggy. They love her. Okay, Bug. You can hear the dogs, they love her. They go psycho when she comes home. She's going to mind them for me for a minute, so that's good. All right, continuing on. Softening all of these edges. You can see how that's starting to come together now. Starting to. I've still got some harsh lines around his nose, but I'll work my way back to that. Softening, just going all around all the edges. Softening everything. It's probably like watching grass grow for you guys. I apologise, but it's the whole process. You're getting the whole process. You're not getting a time lapse, which I usually do time lapses, but it doesn't give you a real perspective of what goes into a piece. I spend probably most of my artwork takes me from start to finish about an hour and a half. This one, how long have I been doing this one for? Where's my time? I'm an hour and 45 minutes already. I'm probably halfway, just a bit more than halfway. Because I'm almost up to the final touches part. I've just got to tidy everything up and then finish the background. I'm just blending, 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 getting rid of any hard lines. So I'm still working on that first zebra. Soften all that. All right, that's pretty much. I've got to do the legs. Don't forget the legs, lovey. That front leg's a bit of a mess, but that's okay. We'll fix that up. Blend that water in. I've got to add a few bits and pieces. Now I can work onto the second zebra and just do exactly the same thing. I'm just going to blend out the lines, soften everything so it's not harsh. Because nothing in nature is hard lined. Even trees, they've got bark that softens them. Anything you look at. Even rocks, they're not flat, they've got shape to them, they're softer. Well, they're not soft, but they haven't got flat edges, flat hard edges. Nothing in nature has got a flat hard edge. So you've got to soften all your hard lines up. Otherwise it'll look too drawing-like. and unnatural. I'm trying to get, I'm not a photorealist by any means at all, but I like things to look right. I would love to be a photorealist one day when I grow up, which will be never. I'm going to grow old, but I'm never growing up. But I would love to be a photorealist one day, but yeah, not going to happen. Oh, there's hubby. All right, continue around, blending all of these lines. I'm working my way onto his neck now, and then I've got to add the darks, the darkest darks over the top. Just softening everything up. Looking good, thank you. Hello, Bacon. How a tiger horse? Yes. Tiger horse does whatever a tiger horse does. That was from The Simpsons, Tiger Pig. Way back when, back in the day. Got to come down under his neck, take that right down. So how's your day been, Slap? Actually, I'll call you Bacon. Bacon's better. How's your day been, Bacon? Just softening up all the edges. Blending it into the other colour. The creamy colour. I got so zoned out then. Just doing my thing. Yes, soften up all these outside lines. Then I've got to work on their reflections in the background a little bit. But also too, you've got to decide what you want the focus to be. Do you want the focus to be well, if I want the focus to be the zebra, so that I've got to dull down the background a little bit, make it a little bit more muted somehow. Not sure how I'm going to do that, but the main focus is going to be the zebra. The whole time my mind is ticking over, thinking what I'm going to do and how I'm going to do it. And I can see he's also got a stripe there that I've missed. I'm just going to have to add that in a minute. So come down and blend all that down, that stripe there. So I'm up to his shoulder now. I'm working down the front leg, blend all of that forward, because this leg was looking a bit messy. So I'm just going to tidy it up by blending. Hello? Hey, babe. I'm good. I'm streaming, but you're welcome in. You're good? Oh, you're all right, doll. You can leave it. Blend it all. Okay, we're getting there. Up and down, trying to get to No Man's Sky to work properly. Oh, no, what's going on with it? Is it giving you grief? Has it been a pain in the butt? It's a beautiful looking game. It is a gorgeous looking game, mate. All right, that's a bit better. Bit better. Now I've got to soften this other front leg. Just blending it out. Just going around the edges of all these stripes. Oh, I can see that foot. I've missed a foot. Whoops. There's so much detail in this, it's like, oops, it's so easy to miss bits. And I'm going to go back in now. I'm going to add this darker brown. Come around the edge. Whoops, more opaque. Silly duffer. Got to add that hoof back. Got to add that hoof on that other foot of that back, that horse at the back. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to use a little bit of artistic license here. I don't like that front leg on that other zebra doesn't have stripes. I'm going to put stripes on it. Just because I'm like, you know what? It doesn't look right. Even though it's in the picture, I don't like it. It looks just weird. So I'm going to do some stripes down this other front leg of this other one because I like it that way. So there you go. I think that looks better already. I've got to do the chest line. He's got a darker chest under here. This one. It's like that stripe almost comes up into there. Now I'm going to blend that again. Soften that line. And I'm going to go onto this front leg now and soften those stripes. I just added in just because I could. I'm like, you know what? I didn't like it. It's not in the photo, but whoopee. You can do your own thing. Hello, Paintera again. That zebra should have just had a normal zebra leg, to be fair. I know. What a loser. Not having stripes. What a loser. He just had to be different. Thinking outside the box he was. He's like trying to being a show-off. Bastard. Whoops, that's too strong. Undo. Make it less opaque. That didn't work either. Undo. Then less opaque, much less opaque. But I'm going to do like a shadow. That's better. There we go. Doesn't that look better? That looks better. I'm also going to define, this leg's looking a bit wonky. So I'm going to come down the back. Give him his knees, because I haven't given him his knees. He's lost his kneecaps. Even though his leg is bent a little bit unusually at the back here. He is bent a bit strangely. Put his little fetlocks in. There we go. All right. Looking a bit better. Been lurking and working. Oh, thank you. What are you working on, Duh? What you working on? I love that. Like at night time, I'll sit and I'll be watching TV with the fam and I'll just have my iPad on and I'll just be hanging out in streams and having a bit of a chat. I really enjoy it. And I didn't do it when I was working, like I was working at the supermarket, which I love. They were a great bunch. But it's so nice to have the time to hang out in streams now because it was so long that I just didn't have time. It is so nice. Uh-oh. I just heard my hubby's emptying the washing machine. I forgot to put the washing out. But he's very good. He hangs it out for me. It's really nice. Yeah, it's very relaxing. Very relaxing. So they're looking better. Now I've just got to add the darks. So I added the darks, the blacks. Well, it's not black. It's almost black. It's a purpley colour. I'm going to add that now. Go back in, zoom in, and add that into the darks on the zebra. Come down and around. I've missed his muzzle too. I haven't done his nose because that's living on the wild side. All right. Well, how am I going to do it? He's got a darker nose, actually. I better do his nose, eh? Do his nose. So are you streaming tonight, Paintera? What's your plan? What have you got going on? I've got to check your schedule to see when you're streaming. You've been on the last 2 days when I've been on. So I have to look at your schedule. We'll make sure you do it. I don't have hang on. I don't have art friends in real life, so this is as close as it gets. Oh, I've got one art friend, and she's mad as a hatter. She's awesome, and I can do it in my PJs, looking unhinged. Yes, I wouldn't do it in my PJs. I scare myself in my PJs. Gave myself the day off. Nice, been streaming too much. Yeah, it gets a bit that way. You can get a bit too. I used to do like when I went back to work the last time went to COVID. I'd do 12-hour streams. I just get on and I wouldn't turn off. I just get on and stream all the time. And then when I wasn't on stream, I'd be hanging out in streams, and it got a bit intense. And then I went back to work after COVID, and yeah, that sort of broke that habit. Mind you, withdrawals. It's so nice to be back, though. It is so nice to be back at it. That's what I was like at the start. Yeah, I didn't even think about it. It was so easy to just lose track of time. You know, everyone else was, because my husband didn't stop work, because my husband and my youngest daughter are both blacksmiths. So they didn't stop work. They could work all the way through COVID. So I was home on my own. My youngest daughter got married. My eldest daughter got married. And she kept going. They didn't stop work either, actually. So, yeah, it was interesting. But so I just streamed during COVID because I was the only one at home. And all my days blended into other days. I have to say I'm starting to do it again a little bit because I'd start work. I only retired a few months ago. like about 3 months ago. And I'd start work at 5, or I'd get up at 5 and I'd start work I'd sit 6:45. And I had this, I'd be in bed at 8:30 every night. And now I'm just starting to get back into I don't have to go to bed early. I can stay up and art, or I can hang out in streams, or I can watch movies, or because my hubby always goes to he goes to bed late. He's a lady. But I was always in bed at like 8:30 at the latest, so I could get up early. But yeah, I'm just starting to get back into the old staying up late business, which is interesting. All right, zooming out, having a look. See, they're starting to look a bit more three-dimensional. Yeah, that's what you will like that. Yes, I read that before. It's Groundhog Day. It's going to take. I will have to catch up then at some stage. If you're in Australia, we'll have to get Australian buddies together and have a meet and greet somewhere. Go down the Yarra, rent one of those riverboats, get on the Yarra, or go to all the galleries in Melbourne. See, there we go. You could come to Melbourne. We could go into town. We could get a few of the girls or a few of the artists together. We could all meet, whatever state, doesn't even matter what state really. And we could all meet and go to all the galleries in Melbourne if we go to Melbourne, and get on a Yarra boat, hire a boat, an art boat. I think so. Because then we could do all, because it's just so lovely, so relaxing. And if everyone comes to Melbourne, you can all stay at my joint because I've got a farm. We could all lob here and do all the galleries and go to all the mountains and see all the animals. You're in South Australia? Wine and cheese, all the wine, all the cheese. Oh, we could go to the Yarra Valley and go to all the wineries. My hubby would drive. That could be fun. That could be very dangerous. A group of artists and wine is a very dangerous thing. Oh, you're New South Wales? Cool. So I follow a girl. Oh my God, my brain's a cat. I just call her Cat. My brain's gone blank. And she's Adelaide. She's South Australia. And yeah, I know a few. No one else is in Victoria. I'm the only Victorian, I think. I've got family in New South Wales, but I'm the only Victorian. Out of all my art mates, got lots of American friends, lots of Canadian friends. Quite a few English buddies too, actually. So if I travel around the world at any point, which will never happen because I'm not a traveller, because I'm an artist, we're homebodies. I've turned back into a recluse again. I don't want to go anywhere. I do go out and take photos, though, I have to say. I do go, oh, no, I just did that wrong. I do go out and take photos. Got to get that back on that creamy white colour. Okay, having a look. Hello, Joyce. How are you? Hey, Jen, this looks so good. I'm getting ready for bed, but I had to drop in. Oh, it's lovely to see you, Dale. Your zebras, it's so perfect. Oh, thank you. Huge hugs to you too, Dale. Huge hugs to you too. So I'm going to pop in the dark. Joyce is another buddy, another artistic buddy I met on YouTube. My lovely, lovely American friend who does digital art. All right. And my YouTube buddy. So I've got a mixture, YouTube buddies and Twitch buddies. And now I've got to do the outside of that ear a little bit. All right, having another look. And she's got grey. This one's got grey on the back of the tail. So I'll just add a few flecks of grey. No, that's way too light. Just undo, 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 undo. And go more over that grey. Make it more opaque. More of a brownie grey. I need more of a brownie grey. I'm going to go that one. Whoops. There we go. Love your art, Jen. It's so good. She made a portrait of our dog. I need to do you a digital one too now, Joyce. I need to get you to send me another photo so I can do your digital version, because I feel like I love my traditional, but I'm much more confident. I feel I can get more of a likeness digitally. I don't know why, but I've got more confidence with digital. So I would love to do another portrait of your little dog. If you send me a picture, just message me, Doug. Just message me and I'll do another one in digital and I'll just email it to you. How's that sound? Because I would love to do that. Because I've been doing, and I can stick him on a coffee cup for you. Stick her on a coffee cup for you. Because I'm like, I got one of my coffee cups came. I'll show you. I don't know whether you're able to see it very clearly. But I got some coffee cups made and it's got my owl painting on it. And they turned out beautiful. They're really nice quality. So I've got them on my Etsy page and I'm going to put all of my art prints onto cups and stuff. So that's my owl. So I ordered that for myself. I think it shows up. I will. Awesome, awesome, awesome. You can do over and over and so many times. I know, it's so good. And like and it's just, I have to say, when it comes to, I love to share my art and I love to, selling art is so bloody hard because you've got to transport everything. And from Australia, all of my clients in the past have been European, English, and to send things, it costs so much. But with digital art, you can have an original piece and it can be sent in a matter, like literally within minutes of it being finished. It's so much more practical. It's so much more cost effective. It's so much more practical. I think it's my new happy place. Very much so. It's my new happy place. It's going to add a little bit of light brown into his muzzle. I'm going to start. I'm going to zoom out and have another look. Okay, he's looking good. Oh, we're getting there, people. We're getting there. Okay, I'm going to blend out his feet a little bit. Soften that up. His hoofies. His little hoofy doofies. Just soften that hoofy doofy because it's a bit looking weird. All right. Now, how on earth? I'm panicking. I'm gonna do another. This is weird. I've done all of this on one layer. That would be great. I'll pay for it. Be perfect. Oh, I can do you a coffee cup with your dog. Yes, I could do you a coffee cup with your dog, Joyce. Oh, how good would that be? That could be fun. And you could drink coffee with your dog every day. So now I'm looking at this reflection. How I'm trying to think. Got to zoom in my doodah, my thing. Here's my thing. I've got to make. I've got to make these shadows like the reflections in the water. I'm going to have a look at my brushes. I'm actually having palpitations thinking how I'm going to do it. Why I did that instead of organic art and because my hands are gnarled, I have arthritis. Oh, it's to the left of me. Itis to the right. Itis to the left of me. Itis to the right. You're a flock of itises. The middle again. Yes. Oh my God. You're funny. So I'm going to look at oh, hang on. I've got water brushes. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to use water bleach and I'm going to see if it'll let me go in with a brown. I've got to do, I don't like those. I'm just going to, because they're all, oh, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do the jaggedy edges in the directions, but wash it out because they aren't flat lines. There we go. Why is my dog outside scratching on the door? He's always inside. Scott must have let him out. All right, there we go. Perfect. Yes, I have 4 pillows with Matilly poos and a plaque and your portrait. Oh, the keychain. Oh my God. So now you just need the cup. See? There we go. Perfect. Perfectamundo, Dal. I'll do you the cup. That's so funny. So I'm just roughing off these lines. See, that's starting to look better. I just had to think, I had to look at the picture, look at the reflections and think, how on earth? I've just got to go with the flow of the water. The water's going sideways. Blend it all. Like that. Is that you, babe?
Is this me, Dad? Mum.
Oh, it's all right, Bug. Do you want to let Bear in? He's got himself locked outside, the little turd. Oh, here he comes. Hey, Bear. Come and say hello to everyone. Come and say hello. This is Bear, everyone. This is my little best friend, who's my shadow, who was just looking outside the window. Oh, licking my eyeballs. That's why my eyeballs are all smudgy, because you've licked them, Bear. I've got Bear licks all over my face. Wait, oh, you've got your toy. Oh, I can't play with your toy at the second, Bear. I've got to finish my picture. He's got all his squeaky toys. So we're about to have a lot of squeaking. We're about to have a world of squeaking. Okay, I'm happy with that. I'm also going to take out these ripples a little bit so that they're not quite... Here comes a squeaky toy. I apologise, guys, but puppies will be puppies, won't they? Except he's 9. He's not a puppy. I'm just going to add these shadows in under the leg. That's good. See, I love it when that happens. I love it when you see something happen and you're like, oh, that's working. Oh, my God, look at that. It's working. I love it when that happens. Okay, having a look. Hi, Bear, love you. My dog grooms our eyebrows. Yes, Bear's a very good grooming dog. He's very good at cleaning up his people. He's very good. And he's very, very good at dinner time, at telling us when it's dinner time, what time dinner needs to be cooked. He's a bossy britches. Pippi, my other one, she just howls at me. If there's storms tonight, I'll have to keep her. She's terrified in storms, my poor Bibby Wibby. She's just such a little funny, quirky little girl. It's going to come up here. I've got to put that gravel in back behind that leg. I missed that bit. Okay, that's looking okay. Now I've got to add a little bit of creamy colour. But I'm going to do it in a blue. I'm not going to do it. Oh no, hang on. Am I going to have to do it in the white, the light there? And I'm going to add that also. Nope, I'm going to... What the... Oh. I'm like, why is that not working? I've got to add this light. Also, in between. Continue. Am I on the second layer still? Oh, I didn't do another layer. See, after all that, I thought I was on another layer. That didn't happen. See, it's the thought that counts, isn't it? It's the thought that counts. So I'm just going to pop in the water movement. So I'm forgetting the shapes. I'm forgetting the detail. I'm just going to suggest the reflection like that. And just follow the shape of the water. And then take it out a bit from the shape. Like that. There we go. Your dog is a little like mine. They both shepherd us where she wants us to go. Yes, thankfully Lex is not afraid of thunder. Oh my goodness, poor Bibby. She's terrified of storms. Our last dog was, and it was horrid. We're going to go now. Have a great one. You have a great one too. Thank you for popping in, Joycey. It's wonderful to see you, Dal. Always a pleasure, my dear. Always an absolute pleasure. She's one of my best YouTube friends. All good, Buggy. Okay. Yeah, Pippi is terrified of storms and I have to hold her. We have to literally like swaddle her because she panics and she's irrational. Her little pupils dilate and she completely freaks out. So I have to hold her. Whenever there's a storm, I have to stop whatever I'm doing and hold her until it passes, until the worst of it's over. Okay, I'm actually quite happy with that. That's looking okay. Now I'm going to work. I'm having another look. The back of this one, no, I'm happy with that. I need to calm the farm and not be too pedantic. Calm the farm. I'm going to bring the water, soften up these watery edges around the feet and around there. Take a little bit of moisture up onto the bank. A little bit. Okay, having another look. Okay, so I need to do something with this background. I'm going to zoom in and have a look. There's so many different colours. Okay, I'm going to do different colours in there. I'm going to go to a rough brush again. Have I got, where's my history? Where's my history? Recent. I'm going to go back to the clay and I'm going to go to a stronger brown. As you can see, all that sand is, whoops, it's all colours everywhere. Probably darker into the distance, more purpley. I'll just soften that off in a minute. I'm just going to rough up the outside texture behind. Down and around the back of the zebras there. This is just a clay brush, which if I was painting this, you could still use these effects. If you're doing traditional, I would use a sponge. I would add watercolour to a sponge to create this on paper. So there's always, I do tend to think when I'm doing digital, how would I do this if I was to do it in watercolour? And I would do this with a sponge. I would just sponge the background. Get a little sea sponge. You can get it at any $2 shop. Yeah, I'm constantly thinking if I was going to do this traditionally, how would I do it? Because I like to have the option of being able to create the same piece with a traditional artwork. Now I can also see, I'm going to do these little, got to go back to my other brush, go back to Untitled, make it small and draw another few rocks in. The more I look, the more I see, make it a bit bigger. Add some more solid textury bits in, like that. These little scribblies. There we go, that's already looking a little bit better. Take some onto this rock. And I've been wanting to draw, I did traditionally in ink, I did Bendigo, I did country towns around Victoria. I did a series of country towns in ink and I want to do them in digital now. So I want to give that a go. And there is ink-like brushes. I won't do them in colour. I only want to do them in ink. But there is ink brushes. That's looking better. I'm going to go back to my clay brush. Don't use the dark. Make it a bit bigger. No, maybe not. Maybe make it smaller. Oops. Take it around the edge of the water here. Just around this back. No, undo that. Make it a bit smaller. And around this. There we go. That's better. Take it around this back edge of the water where it goes up the bank a little bit. Like that. All right. That there's a little bit sort of comes into the water. You can see the water, the edges of the muddy bit comes down there a little bit. Let's have a look. Yep, that's all right. I'm going to take that muddy bit down and around these hooves at the back. It's like this trodden in the mud and made it a bit gooby, a bit oogie gooby. Right, having another look. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to be really crazy here and I'm going to add a purple. I'm going to go into a purpley grey for the shadows underneath. Whoops. I'm going to add just a purpley grey. Whoops, days. Undo. Undo, 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 undo. Undo, fondue. Make it a bit smaller. Come around under there. with the clay texture. I like cool, shadowy colours. There we go. I add a little bit up there. A little bit over the left-hand side. Okay. Okay, we're doing all right. Now I'm also going to use this grey. I'm going to go back to my Untitled brush, go back. Actually, no, I'm going to go back to my water bleed brush. I'm going to add this blue sort of around the shadows on their mouths, where everywhere they're touching the water. It'll ground them a bit. And just the first few little stripes closest to them. Just to help like that. That just blends their muzzles into the water a little bit. Okay. I think. Now I'm going to zoom out, have a quick look at everything. You can still see all the pen marks, all the bits. I'm going to go in now. I'm going to add also, I'm going to go back to my soft brush. Where's my soft brush? And I'm going to go to that sort of bluey purple. And I'm going to use that under his thumb. I'm going to undo that, make it less opaque. And I'm going to add that underneath into the shadows. This is where I love using fun colours for shadows. Use this nice lilac. It's a nice cool sort of colour. Put that around the underside and the shadow areas. And I can't see it in the reference. I'm just sticking it in because that's how I roll. Artistic license, love. Bit of artistic license is what I say. When in doubt, go flat out and go rogue. All right. Might even just add a little bit down the front of this back leg, like that. Let's have a look. All right. Just adding purple up his flank. A little bit more onto the belly of that horse. All right, now I've got to do his eyes. I'm going to go into the eyes. I'm going to go back all the way to the top, go to my darkest dark, grab my technical pen, zoom in on the head. You can see I'm going to draw the iris. I'll go back around. You can see all the little scruffy bits when you zoom in that close. Mind you, you're never going to zoom in that close in real life. And I'm going to put a little highlight. Like that. That gives his little nose. I'm going to come around and just do a few little bits that I can see I've missed. He has a highlight down the front of his nose. They both do actually. And that ear, I've disappeared the ear. And I've got to put a little brown bit on the outside of that ear, on the back there. Sort of blends in with that other zebra, but that's okay. Let's have a look. That's looking all right. I'm quite happy, I think. I've got to do now, I'm going to go back into this dark. I'm going to make my line very thin, actually very thin. I'm going to draw the mane. I'm going to zoom out. I'm going to draw the texture in the mane because you can see the texture, the fur, the upright fur on their mane. I'm going to draw that in. When I zoom out, that'll disappear and you won't, well, you'll see it a little bit, but it won't be as obvious. Zigzaggy, zigzaggy, zigzaggy. I have to do it on the dark bits as well. Continue on all the way up to the wither. And then it disappears off there. Let's have a look. Zoom out and have a look. So you can barely see it, but I know it's there. Okay, same on the other zebra. Continue on. Have a sip of my coffee. Hello, Sir John. How are you, doll? So continue on. Do the squiggly mane. It was awesome to catch your stream the other day too, mate. That was lovely. Finally getting to one. And I'm going to make that pen mark a bit bigger because I realised I haven't taken his mane up top of his neck there onto his wither. Like that. All right, zoom out and have a look. Okie doke. Oh, Sir John, thank you for the bits. I don't know why my sound's not working. I moved a thing. So shout out at Sir John. Sir John. Ta-da. There we go. Thank you, mate. Very much appreciated. Now I'm going to go super dark under the tail. So what have you been up to today, doll? All right. That's very much appreciated. Now I'm going to zoom in and have a quick look at the water. I don't want to go into too much fuss. Actually, I'm going to add a little bit of that dark around the nostril there. I'll go a bit of a creamier colour back onto the muzzle. You can see they've got all different colours and textures around. I reckon I need to add a little bit of that lilac-y colour. There it is, that one. I reckon I need to add a little bit of that down the front leg. Actually, make it a little bit thicker, just to soften. That front leg's got too much of a light, hard line. Then I'll blend it a fraction. Chaos. That is a cute emote. That is very cute. All right. I've got to make some more emotes actually. That's next on the agenda. Is to make myself some more. All right, I reckon I might even add a bit more of a sandy colour into the water. Go back up here. Or nah. Let's have a look. Let's zoom out on the zebra reference. Have a look. Oh my God, doesn't want to. Oh, I have to get rid of that. Have a look at the zebra reference. I do need to have some darker little bits, don't I? I do need to have some darker. I need to be brave. I'm going to use a blue though. And I'm going to go back to my soft brush. And I'm going to leave it a little bit less opaque. Make it a little bit thicker. Make it smaller. And I'm just going to add, again, just keeping it in the direction the water's flowing. And just add some dark in to these reflections. As I can see in the reflection on the picture, you can see that the soft dark shadows. So add those in. Come down and around. There we go. After this stream, this piece will be available for sale on my Etsy and on my Ko-fi as a digital download. If anyone's interested in purchasing this piece, it will be for sale on my Etsy and my Ko-fi, which is on YouTube, linked in my links, and down below here in my links down below on my Twitch. I added my links last night. So if anyone's interested in purchasing these, I've got them for $10 Australian. And you too can own this print, and you just print it onto photo paper, if you so wish. I'm going to take this greyish colour up the bank as well, and add a little bit of texture around with the soft brush, just to break it all up. I'm liking that. That's looking better. Those reflections are looking good, I think. I think. Reflections are looking good. I'm going to put some shadows not that harsh, underneath the rocky bits. So they're not just floating on the ground like that. I'm just going to blend that one out because it looks like just a squiggly scribble. Blend that out and put another line under it. There we go. Just disappear it out a bit. Right, I reckon I'm going to call that done. I reckon I'm happy with that. Let's just zoom it out a bit. Have a look. I mean, I could do more. I could do endless to it, but just tidy up a little bit around the feet. The rest of it's in the water. I can do a bit more of a shadow, a bit more of a purpley shadow. Just down here. Whoops. All right, you know what? I'm going to call that. I'm going to call that done. I'm going to sign it. So, John, did you do a nut? What? 1,000? Oh, my God. Thank you. Oh, my God, oh, my God, oh, my God. Shout out. Oh, my God. You're scaring me. Thank you so much. Shout out at Sir John. Sir John. Thank you so much, mate. That is very, 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 very much appreciated, and will go, not that I need art supplies, but it will go to my subscriptions to my art things so I can learn more about doing digital and create more digital pieces. It all goes back in. Thank you so much. So much appreciated, doll. Yeah, I reckon that's done. I'm going to leave that. I'm going to call that. I'm going to sign it. So I'm going to get my technical pen. I'm going to go to a chocolatey brown. I'm going to sign it down where you won't even see it. Actually, I need to make it more opaque. Sign it down. Oh, no, undo that. Go to a chocolate brown, that one. Sign it down the bottom right hand. Actually, no, I don't want to sign it there. I'm going to sign it with white down the bottom of the water. Put the date, 2025, and we are done. So we are going to have to find someone to raid now, peeps. So I'm going to have a quick look. See who's on. I've got my phone right next to me. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for hanging out, everyone. And thank you so much, Sir John, for the bits. Very much appreciated. You're just awesome. So, and you're all awesome for being here and hanging out. So we're going to check Twitch and see who is out and about, who we've got online that we can hang out with. Following. There we go. Who have we got? Oh, we've got a few. Oh, decisions. We are going to go and raid Freakmeister. He's doing a beautiful painting of a lynx cat. It is absolutely gorgeous. So we are going to go and hang out with Freakmeister. Thank you so much, Will. Thank you for hanging out, and Bacon and John and Paintera and everyone. Thank you for being here. You guys and gals are a world of awesomeness. So let's go and raid, /raid Freakmeister. He does beautiful art. Oh my God. Amazing. Freakmeister. Watch me spell this wrong. Art. 1. Oh no, it's not Freakmeister Art. See, I nearly did it wrong. Freakmeister 1. Okay. Did that work? Yes. I'll see you over there. Thank you for hanging out, everyone. You guys and gals are a world of awesome, and I'll see you over there. Whoops. Did that work? We'll soon find out.